Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to bring together both of you all's bank accounts. Do you, sir, agree to take on this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do. Yes, I do.
Do you agree to take on all of her debts and her student loans?
What? What?
Sir, do you agree to pay this woman for alimony for 20 years in the situation that you all have a divorce? What? I grant you all husband and wife. Oh no, I can't say husband and wife anymore. It's not politically correct. Oh, so what do I say? Partners? Well, it makes sense, right? Because it is a business, right? I grant you all partners in this new relationship. You are married. Congratulations, you have decided to think about marriage. And some people will debate and say, is it even worth it to be married in this day and age? Financially, does it make sense? I want to just ask you a few questions and talk to you from a business perspective. Wait, hold on, Jackson. I just want to get married because I'm in love. My question to you is, have you looked at your paperwork? Some people think about a diamond ring. Some people think about spending tens of thousands of dollars just on one day. If you are getting married, you spend more money on a wedding and you don't even own a property in real estate, this is a video where you definitely should begin to ask yourself some questions about what can I do so that this marriage, aka this business relationship, makes more sense. LegalZoom.com, and I pulled up some slight information there I'm going to read and kind of give you a little bit of commentary on some of the stuff that I'm reading on LegalZoom. This is a legal financial partnership. Like partners in a small business, married couples must manage each other's money. They have to make joint decisions and they have to communicate with each other about dozens of day-to-day issues, especially as it relates to money. Now, have you ever seen two people get married and one person has to hide bags that they just went out shopping? They got to hide it from their spouse, or they go out and they got these hidden bank accounts. This is very important that you can create your own contracts. A marriage contract and that license, this is something that you can create your own contract. I think of it like this. Imagine you're getting married, it's like you're starting your own country. And if you're starting your own country, your own nation, that means you need to have your own bylaws, your own constitution. These are rules and guidelines that you guys can maybe change and update every few years. And these bylaws can say, hey, this is how we're going to handle our conflict. And maybe you guys could also have some bylaws in there about how do you guys handle discrepancies and violations. And perhaps you guys can have something in there that is discussing legal partnerships. I am not an attorney. Make sure you go to a legal attorney to get advice about drafting up this paperwork. But I want you to understand that there's flexibilities. You can write up your own contracts. Talk to your attorney about putting this together. See, when you get married, you and your partner's money is now becoming connected. Not just your money, but also the property that you guys have. It's coming connected now. If you have student loan debt, let's say you own $100,000 that you owe for school for student loans. Once you're married, your spouse, they owe that $100,000 for student loans as well. Same thing with other debt and properties. If you've worked all your life to acquire a certain amount of properties, your spouse now owns these properties as well. So this means you should be thinking about not only a prenuptial, but thinking about if you were to die or pass, do you have some type of a will that is in place? How are you going to handle inheritance? Is that going to go to the children, etc.? So marriage can affect your legal rights in multiple different ways. One, marriage can affect your rights when it comes to the property ownership. When you're single, you own your bank account, anything that you brought along and put inside of that bank account. But see, once you're married, the general rule is that everything you earn or acquire during that marriage belongs to both of you all. So this is why you can have Bezos, the owner of Amazon, gets divorced and he has to pay out his wife over $20 billion during out his marriage, because this is money that he made throughout his marriage. This means is that if you get divorced, you will be splitting up most of what you own. You will be splitting up most of what you earn, no matter who earned the money. Second thing is debt. When it comes to debt, In some states, you will be liable for your spouse's debt, even if your spouse's name was the only one on the paperwork. You'll still be liable in some states. So this is why you have to check with your attorney and check with your states with the laws. Third is when it comes to inheritance. Now, if you die and you don't have a will, some state laws will automatically award half or 2/3 of your estate to your spouse. I know when you watch Hustle Headquarters, you guys are all about wealth building. You want to own multi-units, you want to own homes, you want to own cars, you want to own different residual assets. You maybe have a publishing company, a website, a YouTube page. Do you want your spouse to own all of those things? Or maybe you want some of that stuff to go to your children, or maybe you want it to go to a different family member. You need to have that stuff written in some type of a will. Then you got the topic of divorce and alimony. See, if you get divorced, a court may order your spouse who makes more money to pay alimony or some type of spousal support to the person who has the lower earning salary. And then also you have death benefits. If your spouse dies, you may be eligible for certain benefits such as Social Security or personal benefits. Just like business partners, married couples can clarify or change these rules through legal documentation, but many people don't, and they later regret it. If you don't take the initiative to write the specific arrangement about the money and how you want your money to be arranged, if you don't write up your own contract, then you will be subject to whatever the pre-existing laws are in your state. So whatever applies for everybody else, boom, that's going to apply for you. But you have the opportunity to change that in your marriage just by contacting an attorney and you guys drafting up a contract. See, a marriage is just an agreement, just like a business relationship. You should determine, hey, I'm responsible for this. This person is responsible for that. In the event that this happens, here's how we're going to handle it. You spell that out, write that in a contract, and you can have an agreement to say, we'll renew this every 3 years, every 5 years. We'll have the opportunity to make changes. Just like in the business. Somebody can get promoted, demoted, things can change. If you guys have this level of agreement, it can make things go a lot smoother. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say that you want to leave all of your belongings to your spouse when you die, but the state has a law that says that half of it is gonna go to your parents and the other half goes to your children. This is when you want to have a contract, you want to have a will or some type of legal document that can change the legal obligation so that your intentions are known, and then they can minimize the chance of any conflict or misunderstandings that typically happen. So here's some key documents that you want to consider. Is a will, a living trust, a durable power of attorney, and also some type of health care directions. Now, this is very important because we see this happen in real estate all the time, especially or the parent owns the property and then they die, and because they didn't leave a will, now you got the children fighting over the properties, fighting over who gets what's money. One child gets all of the money and then has to give it to everybody else, and now people are fighting. Now the family is broken apart, fighting over the money. Versus it needs to be very clear. You guys have meetings, meet with each other, say, hey, this is how much money that's here. This is what y'all gonna get in the event that something happens. And then it also may be smart if the entire family could put together a life insurance policy on the oldest members of the family. It may be $50 a month. Everybody pay $50 a month for whoever that oldest member of the family. And then once that person transitions and dies, everybody in the family gets paid something really nice. I think it's very important to have a business culture in the family. Of course, you want to have a culture of love, but you want to also have a culture where it's okay to talk about business. It's okay to say, hey, this is what we have. Because ultimately, this is how we begin to take care of each other through our resources. So a power attorney, also that's very important because you need, in an event that something happens to you, you want to have a power attorney, someone who can help make your financial decisions or legal decisions if you are unable to handle these decisions for yourself, or some type of living will that you can have in the event that you get sick. What is the action plan? Who is in charge? Who has the right? Who's going to have the responsibility? Have these things in place. Also, this brings me to the power of having some type of a living trust. Talk to your attorney about this stuff. I am not an attorney. I'm just telling you stuff that I've researched researched on the internet and I've seen other people do. A living trust, your property, the house that you live in, maybe the cars that you guys own, the businesses that you guys own, whatever it is you own. It could be your YouTube page, your books, your social media. Have those things put inside of a living trust. This would mean you all don't own it directly. So if someone tries to sue you, let's say you're driving and you hit somebody in the street, a person may not be able to come directly after you because you don't own your assets. The assets are actually owned by your family's living trust or your estate. So this is maybe great if you are a entertainer, performer, I mean, even the average person. This could be great for anybody that's trying to really build wealth and you want to protect your money, because not only can you protect the money and the assets, but also you can get tax benefits that come where you don't pay as much money in taxes. I mean, imagine this, for example. Let's say you all buy a house. Instead of buying a house and you put it in your name, you guys buy a house and you put it in the name of the living trust, or you put it in the name of your business. So now what happens is when you pay rent every single month, you can use that as a tax deductible. Again, talk to your attorney about how that works. But now you're saving money in addition to the fact you're paying yourself. And you can then take that money from the property that you own and probably use that as a credit line to buy other properties. So that's a smart business decision that you may want to talk with your legal team about. But it's so many options that you guys can take if you go into your marriage thinking about paperwork, contracts, and you get some advice from a professional. And I'm going to say go to more than one professional, because some people may give you bad advice. So when you're getting married, understand you're getting into a business. It's not just about you, but it's about the decision that's going to protect your family and your legacy in the long term. Make sure you get the book series, Shut Up and Hustle. That's available. Also, all of the other products and services that we have, get those links in below, the classes, and get the classes, get the music, subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the future. I'm your platform partner, your hustling homie, all about helping you take action and develop those hustle muscles so you can be the boss of your life. Flip it. Peace. 24 hours in a day. 24 ways to get paid. You got 24 hours. You got 24 hours. You ain't about your money, then get away from around me. So I'm about to give you more so you can overdose. I'm about to give you more so you can overdose. I'm about to give you more so you can turn my music. Turn my music. I'm about to give you more so you can overdose. I'm about to give you more so you can overdose.